Midnight, December 14th, 1702. Snow swallows every sound. 46 men move through Edo's darkness, blades drawn, hearts already dead. They are not bandits, not soldiers. They are Ronin, masterless samurai, dead to the world for 2 long years. Tonight they reclaim everything. Their names, their honor, their master's soul. Tonight, 46 ghosts hunt one trembling man. A single drumbeat cracks the silence. Steel rings against steel. The slaughter at Kira's mansion has begun. They want no glory, no plunder. They want one head, and nothing on this frozen earth will stop them. To understand why 46 men chose this death, we must go back to a single moment of broken pride. Back to a sword drawn inside the sacred halls of the Shogun himself. An act that should never have happened. What happened next would echo across Japan for centuries. Poets would celebrate it, scholars would debate it, and ordinary people would never forget it. It is not a legend, it is documented history, verified in shogunate records, in temple archives, in stone. This is a story of patience disguised as disgrace, of loyalty so absolute it required men to destroy themselves first. You think you know the samurai, the honor, the glory. This story will show you something far darker. Even in their own time, many wondered, were these men heroes or fanatics consumed by a single unbreakable oath? It is a story of calculated, beautiful self-destruction, and it begins not with a sword, but with an insult. Spring, 1701. Asano Naganori is lord of the small domain of Akko, proud, disciplined, exact in everything he does. His retainers do not fear him, they love him. 300 samurai who would follow this quiet man into fire. He is summoned to Edo Castle, given a rare honor, hosting envoys of the emperor himself before the shogun's eyes. To succeed, he needs guidance through Edo's suffocating court etiquette. That guidance belongs to one man, Kira Yoshinaka. Kira is the shogun's master of ceremonies, 61 years old, vain, and accustomed to being paid for his lessons. Contemporary accounts suggest Kira expected customary gifts from the lords he instructed. Asano, rigid in principle, refuses to pay. For weeks, Kira punishes that refusal. Wrong instructions, public corrections, small humiliations sharpened daily in front of other lords. You can almost smell the incense in those halls. Feel the suffocating weight of a court built entirely on appearances. Asano writes home that spring. He misses his wife. He misses Akko's quiet hills. He is counting the days. On the morning of April 21st, Kira insults him one final time, calling him a country boor in front of nobles. Something inside Asano breaks. Inside the shogun's own castle, he draws his short blade. An unforgivable, irreversible crime. He wounds Kira's forehead before guards drag him away. Drawing steel inside Edo Castle carries only one sentence. That same day, the shogun orders Asano to die. No trial, no witnesses called, no chance to explain himself. Before the blade, Asano writes a final poem about cherry blossoms. Beautiful, fleeting, gone before spring even ends. Then he commits seppuku, a clean, disciplined death, exactly as he lived. Controlled, precise, without a single sound. His lands are seized, his castle surrendered. His 300 samurai are stripped of rank in a single afternoon. They become Ronin, masterless men, with no income, no status, nothing but grief and an unanswered insult. Among them stands Oishi Kuranosuke, Asano's chief retainer, a quiet man whose stillness hides something far more dangerous. Oishi does not weep publicly. He gathers Asano's most loyal men in secret, 46 others, bound by one shared grief. There is no signed pact, no single document. But in secret, 46 men commit themselves completely to avenging their lord. But Kira knows revenge may come. He doubles his guards, hires spies, surrounds his mansion like a fortress on alert. An immediate attack means certain death for nothing. Kira must lower his guard first. That requires an unbearable lie. So Oishi makes his hardest decision, to become, publicly and convincingly, a disgrace unworthy of his master's memory. The 47 scatter across Japan. Merchants, monks, laborers, hiding their oath behind ordinary, forgettable lives. Oishi divorces his own wife to protect her from suspicion, sending her and his younger children far away. He keeps only his eldest son, Chikata, barely 16, who insists on sharing whatever comes next. Oishi moves to Kyoto and descends, by design, into the gutters of the city's pleasure district. He drinks until he collapses in the street. Kira's spies watch every stumble, every disgraceful, humiliating night. Historical accounts describe a passing samurai finding him drunk in the mud and spitting on him in contempt. "You are no samurai," the stranger spits, kicking him aside. Oishi says nothing. He simply lets the man walk away. The pain of disgrace, he later admits, was harder to carry than any wound a blade could give him. Alone at night, he sometimes unfolds an old letter from the wife he sent away and reads it again. Other nights, he watches his son sleep and wonders what right he has to ask this of him. Quietly, he asks himself the question he can never say aloud. Would Asano have wanted any of this? Word reaches Kira. The Ako Ronin are broken, drunken cowards. No threat to anyone. Slowly, his guard relaxes. Months become a year becomes 2. Cheap sake. Bitter winters. Waiting for a signal that may never come. Only a handful of the 47 know the full plan. Wives are lied to. Children are kept in the dark. According to later accounts, one retainer sells his own daughter into service just to help fund their weapons. This is the detail most adaptations cut. Their loyalty cost real families everything, long before a single sword was drawn. This is what most retellings leave out. The revenge began destroying lives long before it took any. In Edo, sympathetic merchants quietly supply the Ronin. Armor pieces, hidden blades, ladders built for scaling walls unseen. They study Kira's mansion for months. Guard rotations, door locations, the exact room where he sleeps each night. Then, in the final weeks of 1702, Oishi sends the signal. 2 years of disgrace are finally over. The 47 gather quietly in Edo, one by one, under the cover of routine and winter darkness. On the night before, they share a final meal. Cold rice, plain water. No toasts, no final speeches. December 14th, a heavy blizzard rolls over Edo, muffling footsteps, hiding faces, burying the city in white silence. One mistake tonight will not mean defeat. It will erase 2 years of sacrifice forever. Oishi looks once at his son among the gathered men, a boy about to become either a hero or a ghost. Midnight. The drum sounds. 47 men move as one, not with rage, but with terrifying, rehearsed precision. They scale the walls in silence, splitting into 2 groups, sealing every exit before a single guard wakes. "We are the retainers of Asano!" they shout, and Kira's mansion erupts into a nightmare of steel and screaming. Room by room, they clear the house. Records suggest roughly 20 of Kira's men are killed or wounded that night. But Kira is nowhere. His bed is still warm. The man they have hunted for 2 years has vanished. Panic threatens to unravel everything. If Kira escapes tonight, 2 years of disgrace mean absolutely nothing at all. Oishi searches the grounds himself. In a hidden storage shed, he notices something. A shape trembling in the dark. A spear thrusts into the shadows. A cry answers back. They drag a frightened, bleeding old man into the snow. It is Kira. Oishi kneels and bows to him, offering the same dagger Asano once used to take his own life. Kira is too afraid to act. He only weeps. So Oishi ends it himself with a single, final stroke. The vow was fulfilled. For one brief moment, it seemed the story was finally, completely over. In reality, the single most dangerous decision of the entire plot still lay ahead of them. You do not assassinate a shogunate official and simply disappear. The hardest part of their plan has just begun. They wash Kira's head at a well nearby, wrap it carefully, and do something almost no one expects next. They do not flee. They do not hide. They form a quiet line and begin to march, openly, through Edo. 6 miles through snow and freezing wind toward Sengakuji Temple, toward their master's lonely, waiting grave. By dawn, word has spread. Citizens line the streets in silence, some bowing as the 47 pass by. At the temple, they lay Kira's head before Asano's tomb. Oishi lights incense and speaks quietly to the stone. "Master," he says, "we have returned." Then they surrender to the authorities, offering no resistance whatsoever. The shogun faces an impossible question: punish murderers or honor men who embodied the highest samurai ideal? For nearly 2 months, Japan waits. Scholars argue, priests debate. Across the country, sympathy for the condemned Ronin keeps growing. The verdict arrives at last, a brilliant, tragic compromise that satisfies the law without dishonoring their cause. They will die, but not as criminals. They are granted seppuku, the death reserved for true samurai. February 4th, 1703. 46 men kneel in white robes, ranging in age from 15 to 77 years old. You are standing in that room now. 46 men kneel beside you. Every one of them knows exactly how this day ends. Oishi looks at his blade one last time. Historical accounts describe no hesitation, only the calm of a finished oath. One by one, without a single scream, 46 men complete the most disciplined act of their entire lives. They are buried in a circle around their master at Sengakuji, in death finally placed beside him again. The 47th Ronin, sent away before the attack, lives on, and is later pardoned by the Shogun himself. Legend says the samurai who once spat on Oishi later visited his grave, wept, and took his own life there. Historians cannot confirm that final detail, but Sengakuji's visitors have repeated it generation after generation for 3 centuries. Empires rise, politicians fade. Most names from Genroku-era Japan are remembered only by historians now. 3 centuries later, the question remains unanswered. Were the 47 Ronin the purest example of loyalty ever recorded? Or proof that honor can become a kind of obsession? But 47 men who gave up everything, rank, family, their own future, are remembered by everyone. Sengakuji Temple still stands in Tokyo today. Incense still burns there every single day for the fallen. Their master died in a single afternoon. They spent 2 years learning how to die beside him.